Hello and welcome to another video from Midas Touch Toys Games Collectibles. And today, well, we are looking at something that is very, very rare. I would say it's incredibly collectible and pretty much impossible to find these days in any condition. We are looking at the 1976 release by Vanity Fair from their series of wrist watch battery-powered wrist radios, if you like. And this particular one we're looking at today is themed on the Gerry Andersons show Space 1999, which aired from 1975 through to 1977. Although now they didn't actually wear these in the television show. It wasn't an item that you actually saw them wear, but it is a novelty item that was produced with the license being agreed for by the licensees, so that they could have the Space 1999 logo printed on the body of the radio, which of course would help in sales. So it's based on that television series, which was basically, it was a British science fiction TV series, and it was only run for the 2 seasons. It was 26 episodes overall. 24 episodes per season were produced over the 2 seasons. Now, the series sees the the humans storing their nuclear waste on the moon's surface on the far side of the moon. Now, due to radiation up there, it causes the nuclear waste to explode, and that sends the moon out of orbit, hurtling through the galaxy. So the moon and its 311 inhabitants of Moonbase Alpha are on an uncontrollable journey through the galaxy, stuck on Moonbase, and they are too far away to get back to Earth. And obviously, the longer they are sitting on Alpha as it's moving away from Earth, the less likely they are to ever get back. So the whole of the 2 series is based on them trying to find a new home on a new planet that will hopefully be oxygen based and will be able to support life. Now, it was the final production of the partnership between Gerry and Sylvia Anderson, and at the time it was the most expensive series ever produced for British television. It had a combined budget of $6.8 million. Now, the first series was co-produced by ITC Entertainment and Italian broadcaster RAI, while the second series was produced solely by ITC Entertainment. So basically, the premise of Space 1999 centers on the plight of the inhabitants of Moonbase Alpha, which is a scientific research center located within the crater Plato on the moon's northern hemisphere. Now, humanity has been strong in nuclear waste in vast disposal sites in the far side of the moon, but when an unknown form of radiation is detected, it accumulates and the waste explodes, causing this thermonuclear explosion on 13th of September 1999. Okay, let's not diverse any further, because what I want to look at today is this wonderful, wonderful vintage battery-powered radio. Okay, so this is it in front of us. Now, it's got this fabric. I say fabric, it's kind of like a double leather, but I don't think it is leather strap on both ends, and it is attached to the inside of the back of the radio, and it says Vanity Fair Industries Inc., Melville, New York, and it's made in Hong Kong. You've got 3 buttons on the side. One's the battery cover, the other one is the volume, and the third one is the tuning. Now, I don't think we're probably going to get much out of this, because it is only running on AM/FM analog, as opposed to digital radio, which is what we have these days. But let's turn it on, and well, we'll turn it on in a second. I just want to see that you can see the Space 1999 logo on the bottom and the top of the battery of the radio there. but that's really the only reference, and the only thing that connects it to Space 1999 is that sign, that logo on the top and the bottom. Okay, let's turn it on. Okay, so I switched the item on, but you can, I got the volume a bit high there. You can hear the static. I'm just going to try and see if I can find anything. We might not be in a very good area to pick up any broadcasts. We seem to be getting close, but as I say, this is all analog. Oh, I got something there. Oh, that sounds like an Indian channel of some kind. So that's still obviously still broadcasting on analog channel, or AM, FM channels rather than on digital. So, but as you can see, it's all working. It's picking up the radio quite nicely, actually. But you'd have to, wherever you are, you'd have to go around, see if you could locate a channel that you want to listen to. But if you like Indian music, this would be an ideal where I am. So if you like that kind of music, terrific. But as you can see, it works, and you can have your own music playing if you can find your channels. And it depends on where you position it. Obviously, there's no aerial on it, so it's just picking up the signals from inside. So depending on where you stand, depends on how much volume you get, I suppose. So the middle button is your volume button, so it turns the volume up or down accordingly. And if you turn it all the way down, it clicks off. Your bottom button is your tuning, so you turn that around to tune it into whatever megahertz you're looking at, and you can see you've got the tuning on there on the dial itself. You've got the volume on the other one, and the top one is just the battery cover. So you pop that off, and it's just a AA battery that pushes in there, and then you just cover the cap back on, and that is basically pretty much how it works. But it's a lovely item. I mean, I think these were quite rare back in the day. I don't think they produced any of these in fairly large numbers. They were all done in small numbers, but I suppose for the time, we're talking the mid-70s, it was state-of-the-art technology. So I'm just going to turn this off now, because I just want to get you some measurements on the actual watch itself. So if we measure the entire strap, we're looking at 28 centimeters from top to bottom. I don't know if you saw that. Let's zoom out a bit better and show you again. So if we measure from the top to the bottom of the strap, we're looking at 28 centimeters. Now it is a plastic buckle, and obviously the belt goes through or strap goes through the buckle, and you pop it into your locating holes, whichever is more comfortable for you to wear on your wrist. And there we have the item, which will be sitting on your wrist like so. Obviously you can see you've got the Space 1999 logo on the bottom of the watch or the radio, and you've got the same again on the top side of the radio. Now the speaker, well, that measures 5 centimeters by 5 centimeters, so it's a square 5 centimeters. And if we measure from the widest point to the end of the buttons, we're looking at 6.5 centimeters. So there we are. That gives you an idea of the size. So it is a fairly large, what you would class probably as a fairly large watch. If you see what it looks like on my wrist compared to my watch, you could see the size of it. And my watch is a standard size Omega, so you can see that it is quite large in comparison to my watch. So it would be something that you would wear if you wanted to listen to the radio as you went around, but it is a great novelty item for Space 1999. And yeah, I just think they're terrific. It's such a lovely gimmick item from a time from long ago, really, is all I can say. As I say, these items weren't readily available back in the 1970s. You really had to search for them. And nowadays they're, well, I mean, they're not the thing that you would have these days, because technology has moved on so much and you don't need them. But yeah, I mean, really is a lovely looking item. Okay, so there we have it. So do these come up for sale very often on the platforms, I hear you ask? The answer to that is quite simply no. You will never find another one of these. I searched and I searched and I searched the platforms. I went back 10, 15 years and I could not find a single one of these anywhere. I did find a couple of standard radio watches that were from the 1970s, but I couldn't find anything like this one, which was themed to a television program. And obviously it's themed to a very, very popular television show like Space 1999. And obviously when this was actually produced, Space 1999 was very big and had been promoted hugely in the US as well as in the UK. So hence the reason why the license was given, and it was a massive promotion for Vanity Fair in these wrist radios. So back in the day, did they do well? Yeah, I would guess so. However many were produced, I don't know. I shouldn't think they would have been in massive numbers at the time, and I imagine also at the time they would have been quite expensive. So yeah, I don't know. Would people have bought them? Well, I mean, it really wouldn't have been for kids. It's way too big for a kid's wrist. It's very big on my wrist. So yeah, it would have been an adult gimmick thing to wear if you was if you wanted to listen to music while you was out and about, I'm guessing. So the volume does go quite high if you can pick up a channel, as we heard when we were listening to it. So, but yeah, I suppose whatever was made was sold. Whether they've lasted the test of time, well, that's debatable. I suppose if you don't use them, if you put them away and you don't take the batteries out, they're going to leak and damage the electronics. So maybe that's what's happened to them. Maybe there just wasn't enough produced. Maybe people have still got them in the collection. I don't know. But I can tell you this, we're going to move forward now almost 50 years to 2025, which is where we are today. And we're going to say, no, these, before you ask, these do not come up on the platforms. As I said, I went back 10, 15 years, couldn't find a single one. I searched the internet. I couldn't find anything on the internet that relates to one of these wristwatches, radio, battery powered radio, wrist radios. Have I got that right? Battery powered wrist radio. Yeah, I think so. But I couldn't find anything reference to them at all. All I can tell you is what is printed, is what we've researched and found out about according to Vanity Fair. But there's really not a lot we can tell you, because perhaps they just wasn't produced for very long, or perhaps they really didn't take off. I do not know. But very collectible now, almost impossible to find. You won't find another one of these. I'm absolutely positive of that. And as of today, this item is available to purchase on the MyStash website, which you can get to very simply by clicking the link below. It will take you straight to the website, where you'll be able to find this and many other vintage Gerry Anderson items. And many other vintage toys, games and collectibles come to that. There's over 10,000 products currently available on the website for you to view and purchase at your leisure. And don't forget to hit the subscribe button, because we're uploading videos for every new item that goes into the website. There will be something for everybody, and I'm absolutely positive this is something that you're not going to want to miss, because we literally have thousands and thousands of new items which we're shooting videos for and uploading on a daily basis. So if there is something in particular you are looking for, something old you've never been able to find, something quirky you might want to buy for a friend, or perhaps just something from your childhood that you'd like to own again to help you recuperate those long lost childhood memories, well, stay tuned, keep watching, because you never know the next item you upload could be that item you've been looking for. Okay, that is it for me on this particular item. I do hope you've enjoyed reviewing this wonderful, wonderful vintage Space 1999 battery operated wrist radio with me. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you again next video. So bye for now.